Welcome back folks, it's Lastknown Meal, and today in Cyberpunk 2077 I will give you some beginner tips for surviving in Night City, attribute and perk distribution, vehicle and money management and more, so let's get into it. First things first, leveling up. So in Cyberpunk 2077 you have experience and street cred, but also you have experience or proficiency level with the things you use and the way you play the game. Your main stats are your attribute points. Giant warning here, once you spend an attribute point, you cannot respec it, so be careful and think it through before you invest into a certain attribute, because if you make a mistake, that's it. I mean, you can always save before you invest into something, so if you make a mistake, just reload the save and there you have it. So what I always do is that I have one main attribute point and two secondary which help with the first one. So let's say I'm making an assault character who is proficient in technical abilities, who can also sneak and do just enough hacking. As you can see here, my reflexes are 10, technical 8, which helps with the doors, and since I cannot hack high-end stuff, I have to rely on that. Plus, it also helps me to get more armor and also craft better stuff. And also upgrade, because upgrading is the key to spending less money, but we will talk about it later. And also because I like to sneak from time to time. And
what's up guys, how you all doing? I'm Paul the Tech Giant, welcome back to the channel, where today we're going to be testing out the brand new Cyberpunk 2077 on my 65-inch LG C10 OLED and the Xbox Series X. Rightio then, we are underway then with Cyberpunk 2077, and I've decided to start off with the lights turned off in the living room. I may turn them on in a minute, show you guys what the TV is like with the lights on. Now, there's been a lot of talk about this game. I've heard good things, I've heard bad things. If you guys aren't in the know, then it would seem that at the moment when playing on the Xbox Series X, that there is a slight sort of improvement over the older generation of Xbox, but it's not quite sort of next gen console yet. There is an update coming next sort of year, apparently minor update until we, to basically tide us over until we get that full-on next-gen update when this thing will look sweet as a nut, apparently.
So you have bought into Cyberpunk 2077, and after watching many trailers and also gameplay videos, you really want to buy into some of the cyberware that has been shown. Unfortunately for you, when you do first start the game and start ranking up and actually finally get to Night City after completing the introduction, you do not have enough street cred to actually buy into any of this cyberware. You might have the money, but if you don't actually have the money, then please go and check out our previous video. But unfortunately, you can't buy into the good cyberware because you need to rank up. And we're not also talking about just a couple ranks here. Once you do complete the introduction and you do get within Night City, your street cred is very, very low. We're talking less than a couple ranks here, and you would need to get that rank all the way up to rank 20 for you to actually be able to buy into the cool cyberware. There are two XP systems within Cyberpunk 2077. You have your overall rank and you also have your street cred. Street cred is how you are perceived within the world of Cyberpunk. And it is important because if you have not got a high perceived value within the world, people won't see you as highly. So this means you will not have access to certain vendors. And for some vendors you'll have access to, but they won't allow you to have access to all of their items. In other cases, fixers won't give certain jobs to you, and also the people you're talking to in main missions won't actually...
Stop. Ripper Duck and Holmes. Easy on the gas, huh? Just
Excuse me?
I was supposed to stop by Vic's anyhow. I got a date. Me and Miss D.
You don't say.
First stop. Ripper Duck and Holmes. Easy on the gas, huh? I just ate. I was supposed to stop by Vic's anyhow. I got a date. Me and Miss D.
You don't say.
She's so sweet. really gets me, you know?
The Immortal John Hancock here, and today I'm going to be discussing Cyberpunk 2077 expectations. Is it worth it, or should people wait? Alright, so this is not a review, this is just me kind of talking about my initial thoughts and impressions. I did get a review copy of this game, and I'm playing on an Xbox One. Now, I have not gotten too far into the game, and I'm just talking about just kind of my thoughts about it and kind of a backstory. I'm a huge science fiction and fantasy fan going back, to my childhood. I loved everything from, Conan the Barbarian to Blade Runner to Star Wars. Those are the types of games and movies I like to play. I go back and really kind of gravitate to things that are either fantasy like Dungeons and Dragons or stuff like Blade Runner. For me, Cyberpunk, it was more of a curiosity. I pretty much wanted to see and experience kind of what all the hype was about, but for me, I kind of went in very neutral with very kind of realistic